Welcome to the Tools of the Trade Tour. My name is Matt Knowles from Mentor, a Siemens business. Today we're going to talk about bending the curve, the silicon bring-up curve to help you get your IC products to market faster. But first I'd like to tell you a little bit about us. Mentor is an EDA company. We develop software for electronic design automation. The Tessent group has expanded its scope to grow the role of test into embedded analytics. Tessent has recently announced its Silicon Lifecycle Solutions portfolio, which advances a set of tools that augment the IC design and are used to manage resilience and optimization when the chip is deployed in life, combining structural monitoring with functional monitoring. Also providing both on-chip protection to ensure timely action for critical systems and the ability to use this data off-chip to enable new analytic services in combination with other data. Today we will focus on the operations products which help accelerate time to yield and silicon bring up. As ICs continue to grow more complex with hundreds of IP blocks and sometimes thousands of memory instantiations, getting that first silicon to work properly for testing is a growing challenge to manufacturers and operations organizations. In a series of Tessent webinars, we surveyed professionals in the silicon bring-up area and learned how big the problem really is. We asked them to identify their top bring-up challenges, and the top three are the DFT and test engineering groups just speak different technical languages. The DFT group speaks design and test engineering speaks ATE. The second one is access to ATE equipment themselves. And then the third is correlation with bench or simulator. As you'll see, our Silicon Insight platform addresses these three top challenges, and today we'll focus on AT Connect. The other question we asked was, how long does it actually take to bring up your first silicon? And over half of these professionals are waiting between 1 and 3 months to get that first silicon bring up. Now, if you're in a market where time to market is important, of course, this is not acceptable. Silicon bring up is the process when first silicon is delivered from the foundry and fab. Now, most of the time, the silicon doesn't work perfectly. The engineers go through a number of iterations to narrow down the issues in today's extremely complex designs. They can be ATPG pattern bring-up, validation, debugging and diagnosis of memories. And this process takes several iterations through the left side with the design and the right side with the ATE folks. Now, this creates very, very long delays, as we saw in the survey. So this iterative time can take weeks, sometimes months for advanced designs. Let's look at two practical cases for memory BIST bring-up, diagnosis, and debug. In the traditional flow, wafers come out of the foundry, they're tested on the ATE with pass-fail results. If any debug and diagnosis is needed, the wafer must go through the dicing process and the packaging process and setup process for your benchtop, and then a tool such as Silicon Insight Desktop or some scripting platforms can be used to do your complete debug and diagnosis. Now, what if you could do this directly on the ATE? That's what Silicon Insight with ATE enables. It enables the full interactivity of your desktop setup while the wafer is on the tester. You also can leverage the full capabilities of the ATE for characterization, and you don't have to worry about that. Does my ATE setup match my benchtop setup? Does my thermal situation match my thermal situation in each case, for example? So that eliminates all of that ambiguity. AT Connect is just one of the use cases for Silicon Insight. You have the simulation use case with SimDut and the desktop use case for laboratory setup. And using these three use cases, you can keep all of your parameters the same on Silicon Insight and have one unified platform for bring up and debug. AT Connect is supported by the top testers, the Teradyne UltraFlex and the Advantest B93000. So feel free to come by our virtual booth and also talk to yield experts as well. We look forward to seeing you. And although we can't see you face to face this year, we look forward to seeing you in the virtual booth and hopefully seeing you face to face in the future. Thank you very much.